So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I have decided to do a little bit of a combination of a day in the life and a Q&A throughout the entire day of us living in our van. We have gotten thousands of questions about living in our van, so I figured why not just dedicate an entire video to it. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Taylor and I live in this van with my wife Kaila. Right now she's making the bed, and we're just kind of tidying things up before we actually pack up camp, head into town, because we are absolutely empty on water. As the intro said, I'm going to be answering all of the questions that many people have always asked us on all of our videos throughout the past year of us posting content. So I'm just going to dedicate a day in the life to try to show you guys, as well as answering some of the questions that you guys ask. So the first question that we get all the time is simply, why do you live in a van? And for me, and also like for Kaila, we just got tired of paying rent every month, working every single day, 40 to 50 hours a week, and still at the end of the month having nothing to show for it. We just kind of were going through that rat race lifestyle of just working, getting paychecks with other people's names on it, and we kind of just got tired. We always wanted to travel and live in a van, but eventually it seemed unreachable because we simply could not save anything. And honestly, this last year before we lived in our van, it was hard sometimes to even just to pay the rent in the apartment. And if you guys have been watching for a while, that is why we lived in our car for 2 months, so that we could save to buy this van. And honestly, the reason that we wanted to live in the van was also the freedom that comes with it. We don't go to work every day. We're still able to make money, and we get to go wherever we want. We get to go do whatever we want. If, like, literally, almost 2 weeks ago, we were in Florida, and today we're in Arizona. A couple days ago, we were in the mountains. A few days after that, we were in the desert. So it's just the freedom that comes with it. Obviously, there's things that come with all that are, could be viewed as negatives. Like this morning, my bathroom is a tent, things like that. But in my opinion, all the positives outweigh the negatives.
Because there's so much more than working your entire life and staying in one place. And I'm so grateful that we're able to do the opposite, which is work and not stay in one place. And see God's beautiful creation and just feel so close to Him and nature itself. And it takes us back to our roots.
So the second question that we always get is, how and where the heck do you shower? The answer to that question is Planet Fitness. We just drove into town running all the errands, stopping to work out and shower, and probably every single van lifer who ever lives and travels in their vehicle, they probably have a Planet Fitness membership, and they obviously have other ways to shower. Like, we have a few other ways that we can shower if we really need one. But it's probably been about 2 days since I've showered, so we're going to run inside to get a quick workout and also shower. I feel so clean. I shaved. It feels nice to reset, coming to town and just kind of refilling water. Just smacks me in the face with it. refill on water, get a shower. We're gonna go get some food, and then we're gonna go get a bunch of groceries.
Go on a date, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm trying to lose some weight. Back in like January, I was like 195. I think at one point my highest was like 204, but that was obviously like after just absolutely feasting one day. It was just so bloated and water retention like crazy.
204. Dang, my family was feeding
Dude, them tacos, bro. I couldn't say no. I think I'm down to about 180, between 180 and 185, which is a pretty good weight to be at. But I'm still just kind of like trying to get down to just a healthy weight, which I'm at. But I want to get a little bit more lean for summer and stuff like that, just where I feel most confident. But it's been nice to try to have somewhat consistency in the gym, but it's also hard at the same time. I want to get a kettlebell, but we're just slowly making progress in the gym and just trying to keep as consistent as possible.
Checked out the Super 8, walked to the truck with a cup of coffee and a hot pot.
What do you think?
Gonna grub.
Said I've never been gone, you've been all over. Now I gotta take you back to Mexico. I'll try you in the heat, but I know I'll be sleeping and I don't know when I'll be home. Ain't that the way it goes when you're on the road?
If you are completely able to put your card away and the only reason you don't is because you're lazy, I genuinely hope you get a hangnail in your big toe.
There's a way it goes when you're making a living, not a killing on the road. Woo!
Alright, we are back at camp. Nobody took our spot, but we need to get camp situated, so I'm going to do a quick little edit and maybe camp might look different. Probably not, but we'll see. Boom. I'm not sure if camp looks any different, but we finally got ourselves a little outdoor mat just to make it a lot easier for us to get in and out without dragging in dirt anywhere. And then we also, right where Kayla's at, we decided to get a 7-gallon gray water tank, 7-gallon, and this is also 7 gallons, so that we don't have to worry about this overfilling at all. So this is really nice. And then the other thing we just got was we decided to buy another 7-gallon water tank so that we now have 14 gallons. And we've realized that the biggest thing that kind of hinders us from staying at a campsite longer is our water. So we decided to get another 7 gallons, and that way if we run out, we can just get in the back, grab another one. But that brings me to the next question, is how do we make money to, support all of our travels, buy groceries, put gas in, because especially gas and just cost of everything is pretty high. So how do we make money? That's the biggest thing everybody wants to know. How do you make money? Because everybody wants to be able to travel and do what we do, but you have to have a way to make money and have an income. For us, we make content. We post YouTube videos like you're watching. We make money from our videos. We have not had to do any like side jobs or anything, or remote work or seasonal work to support what we're doing. We have been able to make it by just doing content. We make some money from views on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those different platforms. But also we are able to work with different companies to make money. We promote different products for companies, and they pay us basically for a little ad spot in our videos or on our page. We didn't start van life to be influencers either. I've been making videos ever since I was like 10 years old, and I've always wanted to be a content creator who just inspired people. I even made fitness videos like a couple years ago, and I was able to, grow my following even from a little bit. But I've always wanted to post videos and just tell stories and inspire people to just do something and make their life better. And that's always been the goal. But the other ways that we do know a lot of people make money from, traveling, they do DoorDash or Instacart. There's seasonal jobs, so you can find a job in the wintertime so you can travel all summer. There's remote jobs, but those are nearly impossible to find. Like, finding any job right now is a whole job on its own. But those are some of the few other ways that people make money. But for us, we are very fortunate to just capture our lives, show our journey, and make money that way. So the next common question that we get literally all the time is, how do we find spots like this or even know where we can park overnight? So we have two different apps that we use. It's iOverlander and the Dirt app. And I would have to say we primarily use the iOverlander app because it shows where you can get water, places to sleep, propane, showers. We use it mainly to find water, showers, places to stay. Trying to think what else. Laundromats, things like that. And it literally just kind of shows you all of these different spots at whatever location you're at. You can click on here. And then you can also click on the spots, see a few photos, see a few pictures, and also people leave reviews. Same thing with the Dirt app. It's very similar. We just like to use both of them, so because one of the apps might not have all of the locations on the other app. So it's very beneficial. That's that's the way we find out if we're allowed to park at a certain place, and also to find really cool camp spots. We have eggs, tortillas, a lot of beef. We have an Angry Orchard in here. We have some pickles, avocados. That's kind of about it. We have some pasta. In here we have some beans, taco seasoning, more beans, peanut butter. It's actually like pretty late. It's like 10 o'clock. We've been playing Fortnite for a while. But a lot of people also ask us, when you live in a van, how do you cook? So the answer to that is pretty simple. It's just a butane cooking stove. When we lived in our car, we had something like this, but it was like this freaking big. It was a propane stove, and we decided to just switch to a smaller one, and we now use just the butane stove. And then I think like a pack of 3 or 4 things of butane at Walmart is like $12. So every time we go to Walmart, or every once in a while, we just have to restock on that. And then also people are always asking, like, how do you make sure your van doesn't smell like food? Sometimes, like, there was one time we made salmon in the van, and that was like the last time we will ever make salmon in the van. But we do have a Max Air fan over here, and then we'll usually just have that where it sucks the air out. But we're gonna be making some pasta. If you've been watching this channel for a while, we eat a lot of pasta. It's literally one of our favorite things to make. So we're gonna get some food started, and then we'll answer some more questions.
Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. I'm 150 miles north of the Arctic Circle. I'm going to be exploring Alaska's frozen north, hunting ptarmigan and caribou.
Dude, I missed this dude posting. So the next question that a lot of people ask is, like, how do I get into van life? And for us, this is how we got into van life. We obviously, like a lot of people, were watching people who do van life on YouTube, and we got inspired to do it ourselves. But how we were able to afford to do it was we moved into our car 2 months before we bought a van, so that we could save up. We worked full-time 9-to-5 jobs. We were able to save up. We started posting our journey on TikTok and social media, and we were able to make a little bit more money from that to save up. We bought our van, and like I just said, we had started posting on social media, and we're able to make a little bit of money. So that allowed us, to quit our jobs and do van life. But there's a lot of people that save up for a long time to do it. They buy a really nice van, and then they build it out. But for us, I personally don't think you need a crazy expensive van. I think you can easily buy a van. It doesn't have to have a high top or anything. It can be just a Econoline or a Chevy Express, you know, any type of van, honestly. Put a nice functional build in there that works for you, depending on your budget, and you can honestly do van life as long as you have a way to make money and a nice place to stay and just whatever capabilities you want your van to have. You can do van life. It's a lot more affordable than what I think people kind of see it as, because you see a lot of people who have the like $100,000 van build, the big Mercedes vans, you know, the you know, all the Transits. You know, those things are obviously the goal and the dream to have. It'd be so sick to have something like that, but it's not necessary to have. But if somebody was even interested in just traveling, I would say just travel in whatever vehicle you have. Obviously, you can just work your way up, but we traveled for 40 days in a Jeep. There's a lot of people who live in Jeeps. Some people convert their car into a little micro camper. But there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of live this lifestyle. But you do have to be willing to sacrifice a lot of comfortability, a lot of stability, just a lot of sacrifice for sure. But ultimately you gain a lot of freedom. So I think there's a lot of good ways you can get into this lifestyle. It's just how, I guess, comfortable are you wanting to make your home on wheels. But for us, like, I'll even put some videos. Like, our first build was literally just a bed thrown in here, a small table, and the whole of that probably cost us like $100 of wood. We obviously had a lot of the camping supplies and stuff already from a road trip we went the summer prior, but it's very doable if you're ever interested in doing it. So that's what I would do. Alright, so the last question of this video is, how long do we even plan to live like this? And honestly, the biggest thing is we don't know how long, but in a way I always want to live like this. And when I say that is, I don't want to go back to the typical 9 to 5, have an expensive rent or mortgage payment my whole life. Obviously there's a time where we're gonna have kids, things like that, where we are gonna have to settle down. But I think there are a lot of ways to financially set yourself up better for the future than just buying a house that you're gonna spend your whole life paying off, especially like right now with how expensive houses are. I don't even have that like on my goal sheet. So I can definitely see us, getting an apartment or something, when we can afford it more to travel and have an apartment. That's the goal right now, so that we can have like a home base, so that we can have a place to go, after quite some time traveling, and just kind of like cool down and not be as burnt out. But I do see us in the future, after we have kids and everything, to get a bigger setup. Like, I can see us being that couple that has a bus, travels with their kids, homeschools, that would be like the goal and the dream. But for right now, honestly, our goal is just to see the world, experience life, have fun together, and just make memories that we are gonna forever tell our kids. I don't even know what I'm doing today. I just know I gotta get my solar panels up, drink a yerba madre, eat some food, and go to sleep. That's all I know for sure what I'm doing today. I do hope that combining a Q&A along with kind of like showing you what we do every single day gave you a better insight to what this lifestyle is like. You know, there are days where we are going to be relaxing in this hammock all day, and then there are days where we are driving all day, and then we end up staying the night at like a Cracker Barrel, you know. So there's a lot of different type of days. You just kind of gotta you gotta ride the high highs, and when you're having those low lows, understand that it's only for a minute. But as always, I really hope that, you know, Kaila and I's content can inspire you this summer to get outside, go on your own adventure, or, you know, chase after whatever goal you have in mind and that God set on your heart right now. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.